Hello everyone, welcome to Katharine's Q&A. This is going to be episode 32. I kind of made a mistake last week, but we're just going to go with it. So today's topic, we're actually going to be talking about what I would consider an author's essential, and that's utilizing some kind of platform. There are a couple of choices out there to help you track your sales data. And this is information for anything when it comes to taxes, but for your own personal benefit, it's really good for you to know what books are selling. If something is not selling well, it may give you some ideas. You may need to do a little better advertising, switch things up, etc., so on. But it is important to track your sales. And so in particular, I'm going to kind of talk about Book Report and the combination of Book Report with the KDP platform together. So Book Report is a Chrome web extension. You download it and then you sync it to your KDP account in your Author Central. And what it will do will give you live updates for all sales. And one thing it does, which is kind of cool, is also gives you your KDP reads. And I'll get to that a little bit more in a moment. It'll track your giveaways. So, and why is it different than your KDP platform? Because that platform shows you a lot of data anyways. I like this extension because it's very, very easy to use. You can at one glance figure out your total sales of the day, what books are selling and how much they've sold, your KDP reads per book, and again, your sales, your income that you're getting per book. And it's, again, that first glance and you find all this data out versus something like KDP, which is at current a little harder to use. You have to use a lot of the filters to choose specific book and then kind of figure out, to figure out pages read on that. Again, if you're using KU, you may have gone on the KDP platform and see, yes, they do give you a bar graph and you can kind of figure out how many pages were read any particular day. Well, that's great. What would even be better is for them to inform you how much that means in your money. How much are you making off of that each day? And that's something that Amazon doesn't really show you the monetary value for that until you get the lump sum payment. I think it's that 3 months later when you get paid. And so for tracking purposes, that's a little frustrating. Yes, you could do the math and say, okay, today the KDP page reads earn this amount, then you do the math with how many pages read that you got, and you can figure that out. Yes, you can. But having a extension that just allows you at first glance figure out, oh, okay, so I've earned this much. That's nice. And again, similarly to KDP, you have a lot of filters. You can filter by platform, marketplace, which means, if you want to look at just Amazon.com versus Amazon UK, you can kind of filter through that. And you can select specific custom range and date, just like the other one. Both of them give you different charts. So some of them are different between platforms. So you can figure out which way you like to look at your data to help you understand, again, your earnings. I'm not very statistically savvy, so charts don't really matter as much to me, but for someone who likes them, they're there. You should check it out. So I personally think that Book Report is just a very nice thing to have. It just makes it that much more easy to pull apart the data from sales. And I will note that at current Book Report, what it does not do is differentiate sales between print and ebooks. So you'll see the number of sales, but you would have to then kind of go back to KDP to do the filters to figure out, okay, were those sales ebook, were those sales print? So that one KDP is a little better on. So I personally think using both, depending on what you're looking at, doesn't hurt. And it's not that expensive to have if you are interested in checking out Book Report. It's free for the first couple weeks for anybody. And then especially if you're an up-and-coming author and you don't make a lot of money, it's free for authors who are making less than a grand a month, so less than $1,000 a month, it's free for you. And then after that, it goes up to $19 a month, which in regard is not terribly expensive, especially if you are actually finding a lot of benefit from the accessibility to that data that Book Report offers. And the cool thing about Book Report is, if I didn't say it before, it was specifically made for indie authors and publishers to utilize to track sales. So it was made for someone like me. It's easy to use, I find, and at current, it gives you the information that KDP has, but again, at a first glance, you can kind of figure things out versus kind of doing all the filters that you would have to use on KDP to kind of get similar results, or doing the math. It kind of does the math for you when it comes to KDP pages read for the Kindle Unlimited people out there. So I recommend it. Check it out if you want. You don't have to. Obviously, KDP offers a lot of that information anyways. It's just, again, which format you prefer. I'll put the link below in case you want to check it out. And if you have any questions for me about anything pertaining to publishing, writing, fantasy, etc., so on, post them in the comments below or message me on social media. And until next time, Skål.